Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. I'm doing a video, maybe a series of videos on using ice fishing shelters as four-season domiciles, tiny homes, whatever you want to call them. They are triple wall. They're 2 layers of fabric and a layer of insulation. You could beef that up with various fashions. You could increase the insulation, let's put it that way. Increase the air tightness. But they're good to keep you, they're designed to keep you warm in the winter when you're out on the ice, okay? You drill through the ice, you put lures down in there and you catch fish when it's 30 below zero outside. And people call this fun, they call it entertainment. They enjoy it. They drink beer and freeze, So that's just the way some people enjoy life, these Nordic types. So if they're designed to keep you warm in the winter time when it's cold outside, are they not also ideal for keeping you cool in the summertime when it's hot outside? So I want to pitch them as four-season shelters. And in the wintertime, you could have like I said, an in-ground rocket stove, a trench rocket stove, a earthen thermal mass rocket stove, rocket mass heater underneath it, and warm the whole ground that you're staying on. You could easily heat up the whole 100 square feet. Some of them are about 100 square feet, by the way. We're going to look at one that is 100 square feet. Okay, so I'm going to go into that in a minute here. But for right now, I want to just get across the idea that a lot of people are taking these, and instead of having a propane heater, they're using a wood stove. And you can see that in the bottom right there, in the blue border there. Guy has a wood stove going inside this thing. Very easy to do. You just use one of the vents or one of the windows to put a stovepipe out, and boom, you're in business. So very easy to do. And this guy has a video on how to do that. Okay, and there's probably any number of videos on that. It doesn't take a lot of work, doesn't take a lot of tools, doesn't take a knife, about it, to cut the little window out or the vent out, and you're in business. You wrap it with silicone, put in a regular stove jack. This guy has a whole bunch of videos on doing stove jacks, different stove jacks. So that's one way to do it. You can just get a welding blanket and wrap it around the pipe, put it through the hole, boom, you got a wood stove going. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about. Now, where I first got this idea was many months ago. I think it was a friend of mine, Dave, sent me a video on a guy who took an ice fishing tent and put an air conditioner in it. So he bought an air conditioner. He had an air conditioner when he got here. In the back of his car, he had an air conditioner sitting there, ready to go. He said he'd rather live in a tent than where he was. So that went by the wayside, but oh well. But anyway, I acknowledge that he gave me the first idea on this. So I filed it away in the back of my head as I went through life. And as I came on the idea of the rocket stove in the ground, I thought, well, the ideal tent for the wintertime would be one of these ice fishing shelters because they're durable, they're made to stand up to high wind. And if you pick the right one that's heavy enough and whatnot, it could withstand very, very high wind. Okay, so I would pick one that had smaller walls, the better, smaller the better. The closer being round, the better off it would be. So there's one that I have really in mind that I want to get is the Otter Vortex Pro Resort. It actually has 7 sides. It has a door. It used to be a 6-sided one with a little triangle door that you had to step through and trip to get in and out of. Well, now they have a full doorway, and that makes it a 7-sided. So instead of being a hexagonal 6-sided shelter, now a 7-sided with the doors to the 7th side. But anyway, so it's just basically a 6-sided shelter with a door in it, a full door you can walk through. Not trip on anything, no doorway to trip on, no door jam, nor no ledge to step over. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to get into that. So next I'm going to look at Steve Wallace. He's another Nordic guy. He lives up north, Wisconsin, I don't know, Minnesota, somewhere like that, maybe Canada. I think it's Canada, yeah. And he does a lot of stealth camping. But he has an Otter Vortex tent, ice fishing shelter, and he put an air conditioner unit in. That's where this guy sent me. This is the video that the guy sent me, so I'm going to go to that one now. Okay, air conditioned insulated tent camping, Steve Wallace. Now he points out that they're up there in the north where he's got to be as to 40 below zero and up to 40 above zero. Now he's talking Celsius, whatever that works out to, and I think at 40 below zero, he said they were the same. So 40 below zero to 100 degrees outside, 40 above, and it's hard to get used to. So he likes to sleep cold. He likes to sleep cool. So he wanted to sleep in 60-degree weather. Well, it was about 75 degrees outside, and his question was, could that little cheap, junky, portable air conditioner cool that tent enough to drop the temperature significantly from outside temperature? And he found out that yes, it did. So that's what I'm going to here. I'm going to swipe through this with some of the captioning because I want to just read some of the points, read some of it to you. So you can see it's an otter tent with a triangular door, the little corner door, which I, kind of not going to get because you got to step over it to get in. And it'd be hard to do when you're lifting something and carrying something through that. It would be hard to get through. And so I want to get a full door one. That's what, like an air conditioned tent camping. Okay. Air conditioned insulated tent camping. But that's what the thumbnail looks like. Air conditioned tent camping, okay? Now, one thing, lock into your mind that you look at that side of the tent facing you, you can see there's 4 poles. Those are like tensioned hubs that just, when you pull on them from the outside, where that little blue pouch is, that's a stake down, a lanyard to stake it down, the little pouch to put it into, so you never lose it. But you pull that out and you stake it down for high winds. You stake the corners down, then you stake that down, and it'll stand up to very high wind. So they're all the same. Every single one you'll ever look at, they're all going to be 4-sided, 4 poles coming out on every side. And they have 6 sides. They might have 7 sides. They might have more than that. Some of the sides are huge, and they're just ridiculously huge. So I don't want to ever look at those. But there's one that I do like a lot. Okay, so we're going to set up the ice fishing shack. We started dragging it out at 13 seconds, right? And in a minute 22, he had it set up and carrying the air conditioner in. So about 1 minute to set it up, no kidding. You just pop 5 sides out and then walk in and push the roof up and boom, you're done. Because you're going to stake it down and whatnot, but okay. Bring in an air conditioner because 15 amps, same as a household breaker, for exactly what the air conditioner is designed for. Yes, these portable air conditioners are the least efficient and worst out of any kind you can possibly get, but he's going to try it anyway. Because they have only one single tube on them, and it's sucking air in to blow it up to cool it down, and it's also sucking in warm air from outside. Well, you could alleviate that by putting in a little trench and, sucking the cold air in down from under a bush or something, sucking cooler air down in. That would make a massive difference. Put some water in a trench with rocks in it and suck the air in through that. It would cool it down like evaporative cooling. It'd actually cool it down a lot. Okay. But he says, if this thing will work, a better one will work even better. You can get ones that have 2 tubes where you'd suck in air in. It's, sucking air in and cooling it and spitting the hot air back out. So you see the little tube hanging out the window there. So it's 62 degrees inside. That's what he set it at. And he got it down to 62, 63 degrees. Now here's a good point here. These things set up so fast. Even the huge ones, 100 square foot Otter Pro Resort. Yeah, Otter Vortex Pro Resort is 103 square feet. And you can set it up in like 5 minutes. 3 minutes to 5 minutes. One guy set it up in about 6 minutes, even with drilling holes in the ice in a high wind. With the wind, he had to drill holes to anchor it down. Even with that, he set it up in about 6 minutes. But the efficiency of setting up a campground can't be underestimated. He said it's a difference between me struggling still with poles or sitting here drinking a beer. Now, he said these things are designed to capture heat. They're dark color, gray, dark blue, black. So they're black, dark, and gray. So he's not sure how it's going to work with the heat, but he's funny. He got a log there to light. He lights it twice and light here. Spark that up, and we'll have a fire bushcrafted in no time here. Yeah, these guys are funny. They go out tent camping and they bring wood from Walmart. They live in a different world than where I live. I got 4 cords of wood out there, and I got 100 cords out in the field just rotting into the dirt. Okay, so I got in 63 degrees in the breeze. Outside it was 74. So it's 11 degrees cooler inside than outside. 62, 63 degrees. And in the morning it was 56 degrees. So he was very happy with that. It's either minus 40 or plus 40. No spring, no summer. Just you go from no fall or spring or fall. You just go from from winter into summer and from fall into winter, whatever, summer into winter. So, myth confirmed. You can put a portable air conditioner in a tent, and if you have electricity, and cool it. So, let's go from that to here's another video he has of I want to show this because just this four season idea. Okay, that was summertime, right? It was only 74 degrees outside, but still, it shows that an air conditioner could cool it down quite a bit. Tent inside a tent with votive candles to heat it. So this was his new deal here. Now this is like you see a little dome tent inside. It's a freestanding dome tent. And I don't know. I'm not gonna go into that one at all because that was one where he was using little tea candles to heat it. So it worked for him. Kept him warm, especially inside a little tent. And here he's gonna set up again. Am I running still? Yep. So at I don't have. I thought I had it. The time is about 1 minute and 30 seconds. 1 minute and 42 seconds. He starts to set it up. And it took him like 3 minutes, I think, maybe 2 or 3 minutes to set it up. Now this one, these are two guys setting it up out on the lake and ice fishing for the first time. I was like, this guy. Well, this is Steve Wallace again, and he has been setting up ice tents and turning them into hot tents and doing stealth camping for his entire life. He's like 40 years old, and this is the first time he's ever gone ice fishing. Kind of weird. He said he's one of these guys that are out there. Him and his buddy there, the first time they've ever gone ice fishing in their entire life. Pretty funny. Okay, so here's the Vortex Pro Lodge. Notice the sides on the dimensions on this thing. It's huge. 91 inches, okay, on this walls. Now that's big. That's a lot of flat area. Now granted, okay, again, every one of those 91, 90, you see four measurements of 91. They're all going to have that four rods coming out. They tension out, they pop out, and they're pretty sturdy. So it's gonna shed the wind pretty well, but 91 inches is a long ways. Okay, 74 square feet, 48 pounds. Okay, here's one that's a lot smaller. This is the cabin, Otter Vortex Pro cabin. Notice the sides are not 72 inches instead of 91 inches. Okay, otherwise same configuration. It's got 5 sides. Basically, it's a square with a door in one corner. Same thing with the other one. Square with a door in the corner. Look at it. 91, 91, 91, 91. They're basically a square. If you close it up, it would be a square, perfect square. They just out angle it a little bit to put the door in. Same thing here. 72, 72, 72, 72 with a door. 36 pounds. 48 square feet, 36 pounds. This is 74 square feet, 48 pounds. 36. This one would be ideal. I think that would be okay for me. But look at this one, the next one here. That's the same one. 72, 72, 72. Sorry. Okay, the Pro Lodge is 74 square feet, 48 pounds. Now this is one I would like to get. This has got 6 sides. It's a hexagonal building with a door in the end. So it's a 7-sided configuration. But look at the size of the flat areas. 69 inches instead of 72 inches. And 91 inches. That's a big difference. So this one has got more sides. It's going to shed wind. It's going to shed wind better than the other two. And yet it's 103 square feet. It's got 7 sides. It's got 6 sides with a door in one inside. Okay, let me see. I'll show you that one. There you go. The hexagonal configuration with a door in one end. So, 69 inches per side. So those little 4 rods popping out, tensioned out, going to shed wind really well. So that's what I'm looking at there. I think that would be ideal. So that's the one I'd really like to get. Try to figure out how to get it. Yeah. Anyway, I'd like to have that as a guest house, man cave, whatever you want to call it. hang out and talk and have a stove in it and have a good time out there. And so that's basically what I'm looking at. I want to get this across to you. If you think you're always going to live in a house with running water and everything's all going to be peachy king and all, you're always going to be comfortable, you're always going to be happy, you're always going to be warm, and you're never going to be cold. You're always going to be warm, you're never going to be cold, and you're always going to be cool in the summertime and never going to be hot. More power to you. I hope it works out for you. It hasn't worked out that way for me. And I believe that a lot of Americans are going to be faced with some events and faced with some times coming up that they're not going to enjoy. And if you're not used to it, if you're not used to tough living, you're gonna wimp out. You're not going to be able to handle it. So I've had people come here and like, oh, this is too brutal conditions. I can't stand it. I can't live like this. Well, I'm sorry. I apologize for not having the red carpet rolled out in the Hilton Hotel accommodations for you. But such is life. I've been living like this for 7 years now. Pretty brutal. Okay, I understand. Can't take it. That's fine. But when they say they want to come out and help, and then bug out, flake out on me, that's not cool. Anyway, okay. Well, I appreciate anybody that is helping. Anybody that has helped. I really do appreciate the things that have happened. I'm very thankful for the way things have happened. This life is hard right now, but oh well. So I better shut up here. Okay, well, anyway, thank you. Realize that you can take these ice fishing shelters. They're insulated. You can use them in the wintertime when it's cold outside, and you can use them in the summertime when it's hot outside. Myth confirmed. You can put a portable air conditioner in one of these ice fishing shelters and live more comfortably than if you didn't have it. Okay, so other thing you can do is dig down into the ground, and have a subsurface thing, so that would give you heating in the summer, heating in the heating in the winter, and cooling in the summer. So the Earth is always there to balance out the temperature. All right, well, God bless everybody. Thank you. I'm gonna sign off here. I'm gonna go back to the original one I started. Get a good thumbnail there. This is Steve. That's Steve Wallace. Okay. I'm not sure this other guy's name, and I apologize. He's got a lot of good videos too. Come on. Getting there. We're getting there, honest. We're getting there. That's the one to look at right there. Air conditioned tent camping. Air conditioned tent camping, and then turning another ice fishing tent into a hot tent. Now, this guy has a video on showing you how to do it, so look him up too. So, all right. God bless everybody. Thank you. I'm trying to make it stop. Stop.